Hey guys, welcome back to week 4 of the Chewelah Premier Fantasy Draft League. I'm your host, Sunblaze Warrior, and today I've got a special treat for you all. Two co-hosts and fellow squad managers join me this week, Cypress and Jacob Sue.
As always, I am your co-host, Cypress, and I know that this week will be as exciting as ever.
And hello, I am Jacob Sue. I had the pleasure of being Sunblaze's roommate up at Whitworth University. And let's roll right into this week as we look at the managers who made transactions before match day 5.
Several teams made just one change this week, the first being FC Varka, who nabbed up Kovacic after he was dropped by me last week. Smith Rowe, who has been apparently unimpressive so far, is out. Next, the U.S. Air Force brings in Leicester goalkeeper Hermanson after his former player Neto moves to Arsenal's bench for the season. This is an underrated pick in my opinion, and I think the man will do very well for this squad and for the rest of the season. Newcastle United also made one change following last week's 1-point loss. Saudi-bound Ivan Toney departs for injured Tottenham striker Richarlison. What were the tactics behind this decision?
I have great front players right now, so I'm willing to wait for Richarlison to return in late November, and then after that, I plan on putting him right into the starting 11. Next, Angry Bird Athletic makes a change after snapping its 3-game winning streak. Bournemouth defender Araujo leaves the club for Brentford man Nate Collins. Cyprus FC is next on the list, bringing in Nottingham Forest Murillo for one of Chelsea's many injured players, defender Reece James.
I lost no sleep over that transfer. James will be out far too long to wait for. We've also got two teams who made two changes this week, starting off with AFC Sunblaze, who kicked out the supposed Manchester United wonder kid Mainu to bring on Fulham's rising star, Adama Traore. Wolves' Hwang Hee-chan also departed for Liverpool's new signing, Chiesa. Last, but definitely not least, defending champions Huckleberry Hotspur make more changes to the squad. Crystal Palace's Edouard comes on for substitute Raul Jimenez, and Chelsea's Cowell is brought in to replace the injured Calafiori. An interesting decision.
We start off with AFC Sunblaze and Angry Bird Athletic, two teams who have come out strong this season and are looking for yet another win. For Sunblaze, a victory and 3 points would take the club top of the table. After a tightly contested match, it was Arsenal's Gabriel who secured the W for AFC Sunblaze. He scored 15 points on the day, with Jamie Vardy and William Saliba also on the score sheet for 8 and 5 points respectively, in this 37-26 victory. Let's see what the manager has to say about his run of success with 4 wins in 4 weeks. My question is, last week, despite your win, your midfield only scored a combined 5 points, with no real options on the bench. What do you plan to do to strengthen your midfield to stay top of the league this season?
First off, excellent question. This is something I've been asking myself for a while. Since I traded Palmer for Saliba, one might say that my midfield is fairly weak. Here at AFC Sunblaze, though, I'm always looking for fresh talent, especially in the midfield. I like to keep a nice cycle of players until one finds their niche with the club. With my strong attack and defense, I'm confident we are capable of staying competitive and contesting for the season title.
Thanks for the interview. Next up, Huckleberry Hotspurs took a loss to the Hive that ended 46-53, which sounds like an upset until you realize the Hive has Robert Sanchez, who scored 14, Holland, who scored 13, and Dwight McNeil pulled a miracle of a match, earning himself 12 points, while Ollie Watkins was the Huck's best with 13. But there were no other players who broke the double digit. Next, Osignac took on Mountain Villa and lost 27-37. Osignac's only two notable scorers were Barnes with 8 and Davis with 6, and they had Sells and Nkunku on the bench who scored 9 and 7 respectively. The Villains had the likes of Hudson Odoi, who scored 7 on the bench, but disappointment was more than counteracted by Onana and Mateta, who both put up 13. While Osignac could have won if they started their bench, they were still outgunned and could not bring it home. Newcastle United was the club pitted against the average this week, and was awarded a victory for putting up 38 points against the average of 34. The best part for United was that the whole team put up solid numbers. There wasn't really a stand-up player. Shar got 8 and Sanka got 7, but the rest all had solid scores to put them over the line.
After last week's disappointing loss to team average, Cyprus FC looked to bounce back against the league's worst team, Real Chewelah. Even after a couple of transfers under their belt, the Romanian side was still unable to notch its first win as Cyprus took them down 28-17. The Manchester United pairing of Lissandro Martinez and Nasser Mazraoui were the club's leaders on the day, scoring 6 points each. The new signing Murillo also scored 6, but he remained on the bench for the winning side. Tommy looked for another W against FC Varka, another team who has yet to see victory yet this season. But it was a date to remember for the Serbian club, earning its first 3 points of the season in a 39-26 victory. Matthias de Ligt carried them to victory with an impressive total of 15 points, and Ederson and Calvert-Lewin in supporting roles with 6-7 points, respectively. Despite the unfortunate outcome, Tommy could still take positives from the match, as it was a good showing for their goalkeeper David Raya, who scored 9, and defender Ola Aina, who grabbed 8. Our last match of the day was Toddy's boys taking on the U.S. Air Force. It was yet another away win this week, as the American club put up stellar numbers to get past their opponent, 40-32. For the victors, it was an all-around standout performance, with Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Veltman scoring 7 points, and Kukurea, Bowen, and Strand Larson each adding 5 to the team's total. Even with some good point scores of their own, Toddy's boys was unable to notch another win, dropping them to 6th on the table. After this week's great performances, let's take a look at our team of the week. And our player of the week, the Hive's Robert Sanchez.
Lastly, we take a look at our league table after an incredible 4 weeks of play. AFC Sunblaze now leads the table as the only team with 4 wins in 4 weeks. Huckleberry Hotspur stays in second with Osagnak falling to third and Cyprus FC climbing to fourth. FC Varka jumps to 11th after their first league win, and Rio Shmuel sits last as the only team with no points yet this season. It's been a pleasure to join you all today. I've been Jacob Sue. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for tuning in to another exciting week of Fantasy Premier League. We'll be here every week to keep you in the know.
And a very special thanks to my 2 amazing co-hosts this week. I really can't do it without you guys, and I look forward to the many weeks to come. Well, I kept my usual schedule again, so I hope you're happy. This week was a lot of work, but a lot of fun as the season keeps evolving forward. Again, thank you all so much for watching, subscribe, and see ya!